In the last year, have you thought any of these questions to yourself? Man, how much more are these prices going to go up? How am I supposed to afford all this? Wow, retirement's coming a little more quickly than I even thought. Am I really going to be prepared financially for what I want to do? That big expense just kind of caught me by surprise. I need to really get that paid off. Any of these questions can come at any time, especially with an economy that's kind of up and down. And the answer, I think, to be able to help us feel more secure financially is to be able to pursue a side hustle. And that's just earning some extra money aside from what your normal income might be. And there's so many ways to be able to do that now, and they're really maybe simpler than what you think they might be. Some of them are online, some of them are in person, some can be done just with your phone. And I just want to go over some of what I think are some of the easiest ones to get started with and help to get those juices flowing in your mind as to maybe have some other ideas too. Hey, I'm Diane. I'm in my mid-50s. I've started this YouTube channel to help my fellow folks who are over the age of 40 to have more opportunities for impact and hopefully earn some extra income while doing so. I'm finding that having a YouTube channel is a great way to do that, and we'll be getting into that with a larger discussion of some side hustle options. Okay, I've got a list of about a dozen options here for you, and some of them you've probably heard of before, but some of them I want to just go over some details that might be different than what you've thought of. So stick with me and leave me an idea in the comments of the ones that are striking you the most that seem like, wow, that might actually work for me. Okay, let's start out with flipping items for profit. Now, you might have seen this in a few different ways, but let's think about all the ways you might be able to do it. The bottom line in doing this is taking an item that is a lower price that you find somewhere and then finding a demand online with the idea that someone's going to pay a higher price than what you bought it for so that you profit from it. My favorite way of doing that is going to yard sales and garage sales and finding some items there that I then, while I'm there, open up my eBay app and I find the sold history on that item and find that there is actually demand that somebody would want to buy that and see what those prices are and then gauge with shipping and everything whether I can make a profit from it. And a lot of times I can. So taking those opportunities to go to yard sales, to thrift shops, to looking on Facebook Marketplace for items and so forth, of what's coming out already, finding that supply and then deeming whether you can find somebody to pay for it on a site like eBay or maybe Poshmark if it's something that's clothes or shoes related like that too. Making that match between finding your supply at a lower price with all of the places you can sell things online really opens up a world of opportunity. So it just takes some time and effort on your part to be able to find the bargains and then match it up with the place where people are going to pay the higher price for it. There's also the option too, if you want to pursue a bit of a higher learning curve of how to do it, is to find these items and then see if they're available on Amazon. The price that you'll get for that is likely higher, but I will say it's a little bit more complicated of a process. The easiest way to start would definitely be on something like eBay or Poshmark, or even reselling on Facebook Marketplace if it's something that you can take the quality and shine it up a little bit and make it more presentable. Next is a super popular one, but I think has a world of opportunity still, is print on demand. And that is coming up with ideas of a design that you can use any number of online sites to be able to create that design, then have it put on items like shirts, like coffee mugs, like wall hangings, all these things where somebody has a specific interest in it. They're like, oh, that's so cute. That aligns with what I'm thinking. I don't see that kind of thing anywhere else. And then they make that purchase. So I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of how to do it because there's 1,000 YouTube videos you could find and they go along with the specific sites. But basically you're coming up with an idea that really often will go into a specific niche. Like you don't want to talk about something like with a dog in general. You want to get into a specific breed. You want to get into a specific aspect of it because, you know, if you think of people that have hobbies and interests, a lot of times they're really drilled down with things. And if they find something that aligns with it more closely than just some super general thing, it's going to make their heart beat a little faster and want to get their credit card out to buy that sort of thing. So just briefly, you would come up with an idea and you would maybe make that design in Canva, and then you would pursue having it put on items with Printify, and then it goes onto a site like Etsy or Redbubble. Again, I say all these encouraging you to do some research on your own as to the how-to, but if you've got the bright idea that gets someone's attention or makes them laugh or makes them proud to be able to give that as a gift to someone who is in that specific hobby or niche too, that's going to be the more attention-getting and hopefully sales-producing way to go about it. It doesn't have to be a beautiful artistic design. It can just be a funny phrase. So put your creativity to work, see what you can come up with, and appreciate the idea that there's such a wide marketplace out there for these very specific ideas that can really get somebody interested in buying. We've got a lot more to talk about yet, but you know I wouldn't get too deep into the list without going into the idea that you can earn by having a YouTube channel. And there's so many ways to do it. Sure, you can go about monetizing your channel with making money through the Google AdSense program. And in short, that means that you have to have 1,000 subscribers on your channel and 4,000 watch hours that have been accumulated in the last year to be able to reach that threshold and then make money by people who are just watching your channel, and you get money from YouTube ads that way. But that's just the start, and honestly, that may not even be the most profitable way that you can go about it. You can pursue affiliate marketing. You can pursue selling products like we talked about with the design that you sell on Redbubble or Etsy, something like that. If you have a specific niche that your YouTube channel is going with, you can then sell those products along with that with links in the description. You can pursue brand partnerships down the road as your channel starts to get going. I won't take a whole lot of time to define everything here, but I will say that the very top link down below in the description, I've put together a guide of about 200 different ideas of how you can actually make money along with having a YouTube channel, or let's just say having your YouTube channel serve as the base for your efforts with that. I think there's a lot of things that maybe you haven't even considered. So if having a YouTube channel is anything in your mind that you'd like to pursue, and let me tell you, it's not as complicated as you think it might be. You have many opportunities to earn extra money that come along with that. So please check my link down below for that free guide. I think it can give you an awful lot of ideas. Moving on, hey, let's talk about taking part in focus groups and getting paid to share your opinion. Now, before I dive into that, indulge me a little bit for a little bit of a rant, and it's on your behalf. There are a lot of social media accounts, I'd say maybe a little bit more so on TikTok and Instagram, that talk about side hustles, that make all these outlandish promises of what you can get, especially just by like taking a few online surveys or something like that. And I just want to give you a mindset that you really have to take these with enormous grains of salt and think that probably 98 or 99% of those things are not true and they're just trying to lure you into something. So when I say take part in focus groups, this is a little bit more of an established thing rather than just take my survey and get paid $700 or something like that. There are some really valid focus group opportunities, most of which are online, some that might be local to you depending on where you live. And that's based on the idea that businesses really want to dial in their marketing message and make sure that they're actually saying things that connect with what they would see as their perfect customer. And if you fall into that demographic of being their perfect customer, they're very likely willing to pay you for your opinion on what it is that they're putting out there and whether it really resonates with you. So how do you find the valid ones? Well, one that I can recommend, this is a guy I followed for a while, and I think he's very much on the up and up with the groups that he promotes. I would go to OneClickHustle.com. He has a lot of very inside information about so many focus groups that are coming out, and they cover a broad array of topics. So see what he has available. You can follow him on Instagram at OneClickHustle. And just check out what he's saying about focus group availability. But again, be wary about a lot of the other ones that are promising you pie in the sky sort of things. But don't miss out on the opportunity that focus groups really do exist and pay pretty well in a lot of circumstances. You just have to get hooked up with the right ones. Next, get cash back from apps. So if you're going to be shopping anyway, there are a lot of circumstances where you can take one extra step and go through a specific app or hook up with a specific website that will then link you to where you wanted to be shopping anyway, and then you have the opportunity to get cash back from your purchases. There are a lot of apps that you can put on your phone that will be helpful in guiding you to the stores that have this cashback opportunity for your purchases. In most cases, you would just click on that app first, and then you do your shopping from there. Or if you're shopping in person, you can take your paper receipt and take a photo of that and upload it to the app and still get points that way. So there's a bunch of these apps. Check out Rakuten, Ibotta. There's other lists of things too, and this might be something where you do a little extra research as to cashback apps and see what is there and see if the stores that you're already shopping from are part of their programs. So let's talk about affiliate marketing for a little bit. I would say that this is one of my favorite opportunities, and this will go along with if you have a social media presence that's established anywhere, and that can be a YouTube channel, that can be a TikTok account, that can be Instagram, anything where you have an account where you are building a relationship with your viewers, and hopefully as you share things with them that's helpful information or inspiring or something like that, they're getting the idea from you that you have a trusted opinion, and if you're going to recommend a product or a service, that they can take that and say, okay, I like you, I trust you, I'm going to take what you're saying as a recommendation, and I think I'm going to buy. So if you have a pet-oriented channel or account and they're watching you, they're going to likely want to know what kind of food you feed your dog or your cat or whatever pet that you're talking about with your channel. If you have a cooking channel and they're going to see you create these amazing recipes and they're like, wow, what cookware do they use? I think I want that same sort of thing. It's simply making recommendations for products that you're already using, and your audience is going to be naturally interested anyway. The big thing to remember is if they buy through the affiliate link that you would put in your description, your viewer isn't going to be paying any extra money. They're just going to get the opportunity to get what you recommend, and you get a small commission from the company as a thank you for sending that customer their way. The work with this is building up a following on a social media channel to be able to do that. And I have done a video on affiliate marketing with YouTube that I think could be helpful for you. I go through the ins and outs of maybe how to get started and then how to think about what affiliate offers you would want to make available and make those great connections with your viewers and help them to find something that they're probably already looking to buy. So are you someone who could do some tutoring online? I think that answer is probably yes, because you certainly didn't need to be a straight A student in school to be able to pull this off. Online tutoring companies like tutor.com or StudyPool have students who are looking for assistance in specific areas, and if you have expertise you can share in them, I think you're a good fit for these types of sites. Just take your time to do some research, see what they have available, what lines up with what you have to give. But I will just say, you have to keep your eyes open because some of these sites are customers that are really just looking for someone to do all of their coursework for them, and in other words, sort of cheat by hiring you to do it. So keep that in mind as you're looking. But generally, these sites have opportunities for you to be able to tutor some students that are looking for extra help. And if you bring things to the table to be able to help them, it's a win-win all around. Did you know that there's opportunities for you to get paid for photos that you're taking? So if you have a camera roll on your phone that's filled with beautiful ocean sunrises or that perfectly plated meal, you might have opportunities to be able to sell your photos to sites that then use them as stock photos for marketers or web designers or whoever to purchase these and then use as background photos on websites or marketing brochures or something along that line. So there's sites where you can do this. There's some that are more general. I would say that FOAP, F-O-A-P, I hope I'm saying that right, is one that's more general, but then more, a little bit more intense in the business realm would be Istock or Shutterstock. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be a professional photographer because they're just looking for the types of photos that people want to use for general uses in the marketing world. So do a little research and check them out. You get paid when somebody actually uses your photo and downloads it. So I don't know that you're going to get rich overnight with this, but if you're already taking photos anyway and you feel like they're decent quality and there's something that could have more general use for it, then why not pursue the opportunity to see if you can make some extra money from it? There's a lot of opportunities to earn extra money just with pet sitting or dog walking. And you don't have to do all your own advertising to be able to find these clients. I mean, sure, you can put your own messages in local Facebook groups or on your own social media. You could put up a poster in a grocery store. But then there's also specific apps that a lot of people use to be able to find some folks that are local that could help them with pet sitting needs, like Rover or Wag. These sites let you set up your own schedule and find people that are in a radius that you define geographically. Now, they will take a cut for their fees, but they're also finding your customers that you may never have found otherwise. So if you want to earn some extra money by boarding someone's cat for the weekend or taking dogs for a walk in your neighborhood, you have this opportunity, and there's easier ways that you can find these clients. Now, that's a short list compared to the hundreds, if not thousands of ways that you can pursue a side hustle these days and be able to earn some extra money. And I hope just by listing these has given you some ideas of maybe some other things that might work for you a little bit better just by taking these broad concepts and thinking, oh, well, then I could do that with this. And it gives you the idea that it may not be nearly as complicated as you thought it was, and that if you're scared of especially technology things, it doesn't have to be that big of a deal. There are ways that you can learn how to do the easy things that are needed, or there's also just ways that you can avoid it completely if that's more of what you're looking for. So I do just offer those with, again, a little bit of a warning that there's a lot of people online that are maybe not on the up and up with these things. So if your gut's telling you this doesn't sound right, then follow that and do a little bit more research, and then find the sites and the people that are a little bit more aligned with what you're looking for, and that you can have that trust factor that this is something that you can do and not feel like you're being taken advantage of. So all the sites that I mentioned here, I have listed in the description below so that you can find them a little bit more easily. But the top link, I will remind you, is to my free guide that you can download that will give you, honestly, a couple hundred different ideas of how you can earn money with having a YouTube channel, and maybe explore some things that maybe you haven't even thought of yet. So just take a second and download that. I'd love for you to just take a look and see what's there and hopefully benefit from it. So if you're thinking about a YouTube channel and you're like, I don't even know where to start, I think this video that I put together might be a great overview for you to see some of the things that you need to know and see that it might be simpler than you thought it was. So I'd love for you to take a look.